Oh hey, it's Mike with the Cash Flow Guys. So in this video, Tyler and I wanted to show you our brand new property that we just acquired in Tarpon Springs, Florida, why we picked it up for such a great deal, and we're gonna give you a virtual tour. I think you're gonna love it.
Hey guys, I know we've been a little quiet lately about what we've been up to, but that's with good reason. We were in negotiations on a pretty healthy deal, and we want to walk you through where we are. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a tour of the inside of what we bought. So follow me. Welcome to the Manor at Tarpon Springs. Now you're probably thinking, oh my God, what did Tyler and Mike do? Well, we did a thing. It's going to be exciting. First of all, you guys have known since day one, I'm not a big fan of flipping houses, because a lot of people do it carelessly and they don't have a good team. The good news is that this particular property is located in a market where I cut my teeth and where I learned over the years. I've been in this market for about 20 years. We're using my own local team that I've known and worked with for 20 years. And when you do that, guys, and when you have a good baked-in team, you basically mitigate the majority of your risk. Because there's still risk, of course, but we mitigate that risk by doing things such as inspections and pre-closing walkthroughs and whatnot. At the time of this recording, we have not closed yet. We're set to close. Today is Monday. We're going to be closing on Friday, and here we are. So I'm going to walk you through the house. I'm going to show you the good, the bad, the indifferent. We're going to talk about our vision. But first of all, the important thing to know is this is an early 1900s construction. This was a very grand home back in the day. It is one of the largest homes in Tarpon Springs, and it's potentially going to be on one of the largest lots. And we'll take you around here with the camera in a second, but let's go ahead and show you over here. So if we take you back to 1914, 1912, I don't have the thing in front of me, but whenever this was built. And by the way, Mike is here. Mike's on the camera. he's the cameraman today. But they had double doors here. Would open up to the parlor. There'll be a nice either electric or natural gas fireplace reinstalled. We're not gonna go through the expense of getting the existing chimney back up and running again. Our contractor, I know this from experience, my contractor reminded me that it's just not worth trying to get those old chimneys going. A little word about the contractor. The contractor that we've chosen to take on the project has been a contractor for over 30 years in this market, established himself as an expert. Not the cheapest game in town, but I'm here to tell you, I don't want the cheapest game in town. Because when you start cutting corners with price and haggling over price, and you don't let people make what they need to make to be successful, the real result is us collectively, will fail. I've been rehabbing buildings and commercial buildings and residential buildings for myself for over 20 years. So we don't cut corners when we do that. The beauty of this is at the end, we're going to have an incredible result, and we're going to set the bar. Now, you might be thinking, oh my God, the news cycle, YouTube, everybody's saying the market's going to crash. And that may be so, but not all markets and not all price points. We're in a very different price point. We're in the upper echelon price point, and we are doing this with a timeline in mind. The one thing we have going on about the state of Florida is incredible demand. Pinellas County, specifically Tarpon Springs, Florida, demographically is one of the most desirable areas in the state of Florida right now. Pre-market this property. Our timeline will probably be around 12 months between now and the time we close and exit this asset completely. But that's realistic. Now, a contractor has given us a less of an estimate on that. He thinks he can do it quicker, but I also know that, and he likely will, but we're going to go ahead and set our sights at 12 months as our goal, because we have to be ever focused on market timing. That said, in this price point, the market volatility is not anywhere near the same as if it would be in a $300,000, $400,000, or $500,000 house. We are going to appeal to a very high-end client, a very specific type of client, and that's important. If you're going to do a repositioning, you need to know on day one who is going to buy this house, and I know exactly who's going to buy this house. So come with me, I'll give you a tour. We're going to be having these windows reworked. Most of them are going to be able to keep. These are not historical. But again, we've worked with the city for many, many years. Jill and I, my wife and I, 20 plus years. Mike and I have spent several days now down at City Hall walking through the different things that we need to be thinking about when it comes to historic preservation, permitting. Granted, my contractor will handle most of the permitting because he's been doing it for twice as long as I have, almost 40 years now, actually. And he's an expert at it. He knows everybody downtown. Not that we're going to cut corners or pull strings, but let's be honest, things work better when they know him that much better. He is by far the most respected contractor probably in the Tampa Bay area. That's important. That's one of our keys to success. Follow me. So we have a room right here, beautiful front study, sitting room, Here on the first floor, you can see that there's oak laminate flooring. This is not solid oak, it's laminate flooring. That's because the flooring underneath is probably questionable at best. We did complete a full home inspection just the other day, last Friday, all underneath the house, electrical, plumbing, roof, the whole 9 yards. And the answer is, do we need to work on those systems? Is absolutely, but that's where the profit is. This would be your formal dining room right here. And we're going to do what we can to keep this as historical as possible. Now, there are some things that just don't make sense to spend the money on in rehab. Like, for example, some of these floors, I would love to be able to say I could sand these all down and make them look original, but some of them, all of the entire floor structure is structurally sound. I don't have any major termite damage. I'm confident that we have termites. People say, well, maybe it doesn't have termites. It does. I guarantee it does, because it's an older home in Florida. Actually, any home in Florida has termites. You get a brand new concrete block, new build construction, and get a termite infestation before the certificate of occupancy is even issued. That's because all the windows are framed in wood, even though it's concrete block. Termites will find it and they're going to eat it. So one of the first things we're going to do is tent this place and get all those nasty termites dead. That said, you've got things like patching in the floor. That'll be obvious. If you go to refinish it, it's going to be obvious that it's there. Even if you get rid of the white, it's still going to be obvious. Come across the hall from the kitchen. We're going to open up this entrance a little bit, make it grand. We're going to reinstall the trim work, the baseboard and all that. They're going to duplicate new stuff to make it just like it was old. So this will be a nice big opening. Opened up to a nice, new, beautiful kitchen. Not this one. Nice high ceilings, ready to roll. Down here around the back. This was added on probably in the 1940s, this back porch, and then they've kind of done some scabbing since then. Does it need a lot of work? You bet your biffy it does. But here's the thing. This is over 600 square foot, this room we're standing. This square footage is not recorded in the public record, but the minute that we get this room finished and heated, it will become square footage. It is instant value add. Guys, we are walking in with, on day one, equity north of $100,000. So on day one, I can flip it right now and probably pull a 6-figure profit off of this for us, for you. We're all in this together. Mike and I are in this. We have our own money in this thing. So immediate upside. If we don't lift a finger and I just stick a for sale sign in the front yard, $100,000 profit. You're probably wondering, on how much money, Tyler? On $1 million, that's not much. Well, we're in this. $325,000 is our purchase price as it stands right now. We're under contract. If you're watching this before Friday, we haven't closed yet. If you're watching it after Friday, then we've closed and we're in it for $325,000. But we found a total of over 1,000, almost 1,200 square foot not recorded in public records. The minute you record that, the value of the house automatically skyrockets because that's legal square footage. We are buying this for around $100 a square foot. Nothing in the city of Tarpon Springs of any size has sold for less than $200 a square foot in the last several years. So simple math will tell you what $1,100, $1,200 square foot means to our bottom line. It's money right in our pocket, but it's going to take us some money to get here. We're going to have a pretty healthy rehab budget on this one. We just walked through with the contractor today, and we've got an idea of what it'll be, but we're going to have more refined numbers here in the next week or so. We have a big room, functionally out. Well, it had its purpose back in the day. It was a sitting parlor, but now people don't use that. So what we're going to do is add a half bath because there is no bathroom on this first floor. So we're going to add a half bathroom on this first floor. And just one more thing before I leave this, again, for floor plan, behind us we have the great room, the living room. Behind the camera there is the study, and of course a formal dining room. Could be potentially a family room, living room, split concept. Back room will be all beautiful plate glass windows, will be light and bright. You look over a beautiful backyard gardens. Let's start this right here. Let's go up the stairs. Stairs are in fantastic shape. No termite damage, no structural issues, no water damage. This house is in the same family for decades. When we come into the next room, this is the first bedroom we're going to come into. If you look up, don't be scared. Contractor's not scared. I'm not scared. But we clearly have some leakage issues, and that's because the air conditioning air handler is above us. There's a finished attic on the 3rd floor. This is a 3-building, 3-floor, 3-story property. As you can see, there's a beautiful woodwork, all solid. No termite damage. Home inspector's gone through the whole thing. We know what we're getting ourselves into. Check this out. Old skeleton key hardware all throughout. To my right is a bathroom that's going to be completely reworked. We won't bother going in there because it's a mess. Coming here over to the right, this will be the master suite. This will be a beautiful master suite, the bed centered up. We're going to have a gorgeous bathroom shower combo off the back here. Absolutely gorgeous. You're gonna walk in this room and it'll pow, it'll pop. Coming over here is the third bedroom. So, just to recap, behind us is the master suite. To my right is the first bedroom. This would be the second, technically the third if you include the master. The third bedroom, and we have a fourth bedroom upstairs. So from a learning perspective, that means who does this property serve? You can scan down, look at the floors. It's absolutely gorgeous. It serves somebody that, number one, appreciates history. It's a historical building. It is in, believe it or not, great condition considering its age. It's over 100 years old. And it has a ton of square footage. Guys, we are well north of 3,000 square foot, about 3,300 and some change square footage, which means top dollar when it comes to the sale price. And it puts us in a price point that is far more recession proof. Will the real estate market crash? Sure, in a lot of markets it will, but not in all price points, in not every neighborhood, in not every submarket will it crash. Are we at a race against the clock? To some degree, but in life we're always at a race against the clock. Bottom line is, this is a project that was well within our sphere of experience, or our scope of experience. We've got the right team in place to pull the trigger. I'm excited about it. Mike's excited about it. Jill's excited about it. Contractor's going to knock this thing out of the park. You guys can get blown away. This bathroom is going to be reworked. Have it redone. This will be a full bath. So on this floor, we're going to have three full bathrooms and 3 bedrooms on this second floor. On the third floor, we're going to put there now, will be a no bathroom, but there will be a bedroom there. So we're going to be a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath home. So this would be like for a teenager that's transitioning, or kids have their own space, they can go crazy and run around. I think this would, if I lived in this house, I would be up here all the time. But you have a nice little sitting area. You got a little bench seat built in right here. All of this is in great condition. That air conditioner is from the 90s. It's got to go. We're going to replace that. Here's the original chimney. If we come around here, pull up the carpet padding. You got the old hardwood floors right there. You can see it's had some patching and whatnot. We come around here. This room, being heated and cooled, adds several hundred square foot to the mix, which puts us well over the 3,000 square foot mark. We've got a closet, a storage cubby, and another closet. We're going to rework this side to make this a little more functional, so that it can function more as an apartment for adults. And if you guys want a Sony Trinitron classic TV, let me know. I'll put it out on the porch. Y'all can come. So when it comes to rehab, as you might guess, it needs a little bit of everything. But here's the thing. Structurally, this thing is very sound. You got one beam in the center towards the back that needs some love. Not a big deal. We've done this before. Contractor's not even remotely surprised by it. Doesn't faze me. I've done that stuff. No big deal. We have a house that is in remarkable condition considering its age. We bought it considerably below market value. Like I said, we picked up $100,000 in equity with square footage. Over and above that, we probably picked up another $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 just in the price point. I know that I can turn around and sell this thing for a minimum of $100,000, more than what we paid for it right now. That's not too bad on a $325,000 purchase. Quick math, that's a 33% upside. Good news is, and this remains to be seen, but when we get the rehab budget, which I have a pretty good idea of where it's going to be, the upside potential on this is unbelievable. And this will be a great project to fund further projects here in the fund. That's the cool thing about what we're doing with the fund is, while we're working on this one, we're going to pull some of the equity out. We're going to still be looking for cash flowing asset, apartments and whatnot, as we've talked about the whole time. The goal here, guys, is to build this fund up, build up the asset, buy cash flowing assets so you can start getting those dividend checks in the mail. But we have to build up the purse strings in the process. This is how we're going to do that. One phase of how we're going to do that. We're going to have videos coming up soon of some other stuff that we're looking at as well, that we're going to be other projects that we're going to be getting involved in that are going to be pretty exciting, and you're going to like those. So join me. We'll go down, take a walk around the street. All right, guys. So we're coming at you from a little different angle. This is looking up to the house. One of the beauties of this estate is that we are high and dry. We're sitting in flood zone X. Technically right now I'm sitting in a flood zone. About 8 feet behind me is considered flood zone. I have a way to dispute the FEMA determination to have it pulled from the flood zone. This property, we won't have any flood insurance because the house is not in a flood zone. It's high and dry in what they call flood zone X. So we're gonna have a builder's risk policy, which some of you might be wondering, to make sure that this part of the house is properly insured for not only the value of what we paid for it, but the rehab bill. So we will have it adequately insured on closing day, so that if we do have an issue, storm comes through or starts on fire or whatever may happen, that we have appropriate coverage. Now, if you could imagine coming home, and that be your yard, with your estate sitting up at the top. I know if a lot of you are like, that's a lot of house and a lot of dirt. You're right, it is, which is going to result in a ridiculous upside for us and, of course, you, because this is yours too, at least until we sell it, right? Make no mistake, Tarpon Springs has a housing crisis just like Key West. Maybe it's not just the severity of Key West, but it exists nonetheless. And that's something we have to think about. What problems can we solve in the community? And when we asked that question to the city, they said, we need more housing. And that's what we're prepared to potentially make happen.